Hello, my name is Jodi Gee, and I am here to talk to you today about mindfulness in meditation. First, let's learn what mindfulness is. According to the Mayo Clinic, mindfulness is a type of meditation in which you can focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interruption or judgment. Practicing mindfulness involves breathing methods, guided imagery, and other practices to relax the body and mind to help reduce stress. Examples of mindfulness include paying attention, staying in the moment, guided relaxation, mindful eating, body scan, meditation, walking meditation, and mantra meditation. So, what is meditation then? According to the Mayo Clinic, meditation is a type of mind-body medicine that has been practiced for thousands of years. During meditation, you help develop intentional focus, minimizing random thoughts about the past or the future. Some benefits of mindfulness and meditation include helping with concentration, relaxation, inner peace, stress reduction. It helps with depression and anxiety as well as insomnia. Here are some helpful resources for you to take a deeper dive into mindfulness and meditation. Perhaps after this, you'll start a mindful meditation practice of your own. Here are some resources for you. Here are 4 apps. Will is an app for meditating. 10% Happier is an app. Headspace is an app. And then the app with the tent is called Insight Timer. This is the app I use. It's free and it's amazing. There are so many meditations on that app for you for free. Oftentimes someone will be meditating live that you can join right in. So it's a really great resource for you. I also have a few links here. One is to the Mayo Clinic, an eyes open meditation. And I think it does a really good job of breaking down meditation in its simplest form. So I am going to go out to that link. And here is this awesome video that breaks meditation down very
Meditation 2.0.
Friends, this is the story of how Broody the brain learned to meditate. You see, Broody had given up on the idea of meditation. It wasn't for lack of trying. He had read dozens of books, even endured a week-long retreat. In the retreat, he felt every other brain became a master meditator. Well, that wasn't exactly true. While some brains did successfully meditate, several struggled with cravings. Some were entangled in fear. A few itched to scratch their back. And every single one of them fought a jumping mind. Many brains who reached a place of calm, well, I am sure you know what they were doing. At the time, however, Broody didn't know all this, so he felt like a loser. Meditation became one more thing to feel bad about. Then Gladys came to the rescue. She suggested an idea. Together they took a class, Meditation 2.0, a new way to meditate. Here are the highlights of what they learned.
Meditation isn't draining your brain empty. It is filling your brain with love plenty. Meditation isn't leaving the world behind. It is being engaged, feeling content, and kind. Focused, relaxed attention is meditation with a grateful and compassionate intention. You meditate when you recognize that nothing is more gorgeous than a child's eyes. In meditation, you wholly immerse yourself and notice colors, patterns, and texture of an iris. Your thoughts begin at dawn when meditating, with gratitude for life's little and larger blessings. You meditate when your friends and strangers alike receive silent good wishes from the depths of your eyes. When you light up seeing family at day's end, you create a meditative micro-moment. You meditate when you close your day with a deep, thankful intent. For all that was good in the day, so you feel content. For all that was good in the day, so you sleep content.
Broody the brain came back with hope and fresh energy. He had found a new way to meditate, with his eyes open. He learned that whenever in a conscious moment he sprinkled intentionality and kindness, he became meditative. He also learned that 2000 years ago, when greater threats were external, directing the brain's attention inward was a great way to meditate. Today, when greater threats are internal, imaginary fears, hurts, losses, and regrets, then nudging the brain's attention outward might be easier. Let us see how he has applied this learning.
The first thought Broody now thinks at sunrise is gratitude for the kind, the loving, and the wise. He notices details some would call regular. The mundane and simple are now miraculous and spectacular. With passion, he meets his good old friend Gladdy. He finds her special each day, like a long-lost buddy. He takes time now to savor his delicious plate. Meals are a time of friendship, moments to celebrate. No person is ordinary now, no one unappealing. They all have a circle of love and deserve a kind feeling. Broody has escaped the lockup that confined him to his head. He is now fully present in the real world instead.
Broody and Gladdy once again sat together in meditation. They reached a place deeper, just as their teacher had mentioned. They aren't levitating yet, nor seeing the stars. They are still on planet Earth, haven't traveled to Mars. Precious riches have they discovered in this fun-filled seeking. Wisdom and love adorn their moments, lush with deeper meaning. Friends, meditation isn't limited to transient bliss on a seat. Meditation is inviting compassion and gratitude to your heart's each beat.
Happy meditating!
Okay, so that was a very simple video on meditation, and I think it does a really good job breaking it down. Also, the New York Times Well Guide has a whole guide on how to meditate. It is very, very good and informative. So I would highly recommend checking out the Mayo Clinic and the New York Times Well Guide on meditation. So let's continue on. We'll dive now into meditation. I am going to show you some seated positions for meditating, lying down positions for perhaps meditating or guided relaxation, and also some stretches that you can do before or after meditating to relieve stress and tension. Meditation position number 1. I would invite you to try these as I explain them as we go, or maybe you want to try them later and just watch right now. That's okay too. So position number 1, you are going to start in a kneeling position on a padded surface, sitting on a block, cushion, or rolled up blanket. Make sure the knees are lower than the hip crease to help bring the spine to a neutral position. Bring your knees closer and bring your knees closer together and then separate the feet slightly wider than the width of your hips. Check to see that your feet are straight back, not sickled, and that the soles of your feet are facing the sky. Another position is here. You can sit cross-legged and elevate the hips on a block, cushion, or folded blankets like you see in the picture. Let the knees drop. They can drop a little bit easier seated on a blanket so that the level of the hip crease is higher than the knee. If the knees are higher than the hip creases, then the pelvis could easily tip back, creating a slouched posture, and that's not what we want. It can actually cause discomfort while meditating. Position number 3 is seated in a chair or on a bench. So you're going to want to sit towards the edge of the chair. Make sure you have the natural curves of your spine and you're not slouching. If you're seated on the edge of a chair and it's hard for you, you could try to put a cushion between your low back and the chair. And also, if your feet are not touching the floor, make sure that they're touching something. You can add a pillow or a cushion there so that you feel nice and grounded while meditating. Next, I'm going to talk about spinal alignment. It is important that our spine is in the proper alignment while we meditate. Here's why. Proper posture is on the right. Poor posture is on the left. On the left, you'll see slouched forward, creating pressure on the discs, compressed lungs and organs, maybe pressure on the knees. We want to look at the right, and we want to have proper alignment. We don't want our lungs compressed. We want our heart open and our spine to be safe and comfortable as we're meditating. So it says here on the left to balance the pelvis front to back so the spine is free and long with its normal curves. You want the chin parallel to the floor, not tilted up or down. This keeps the head, the neck, and the spine in alignment. And you want to draw your shoulder blades back and slightly down. And I always like to give the visual imagery of slingshotting your heart through your shoulders. Reasons for proper alignment are here. Rounding of the lumbar spine can bring discomfort to the back while seated. Flexion of the lumbar spine interferes with the movement of the diaphragm, which is the key muscle of breathing, because the diaphragm is attached to the lumbar spine at the L1 vertebrae. Proper alignment of the neck helps balance the autonomic nervous system as well, and that's responsible for the fight or flight mechanism. Upper cervical alignment can help reduce irritation to the nerves in the central nervous system. And finally, engaging the muscles around the shoulder blades strengthens the back while opening the front side of the body. And again, another opportunity here to slingshot your heart through your shoulders. Guided relaxation positions. Find what's comfortable for you. In a guided relaxation, oftentimes you're lying down, like this. Completely lying down on a soft surface, carpet, a rug, your yoga mat. Lie down there with your spine in its healthy natural curvatures. This neutral position ensures you're as comfortable as possible so you can relax completely without any physical distractions. You also want to make sure you're dressed warm. Cover yourself with a blanket or socks. You don't want to have being cold distract you from your guided relaxation or your meditation. You also want to place your legs 8 to 10 inches apart. Turn your arms out so your palms face up and your hands are 6 to 8 inches from the body. Let your body completely drop with the force of gravity. Surrender fully to relaxation and meditation. Allow your muscles to soften and let go. This is the second position for guided relaxation, and it's very similar to the first. It's offering a blanket for support to the neck and a bolster, pillow, or blanket under the knees to support the low back. Stretches and yoga. So you should stretch before or after you meditate just to lengthen the muscles. Also, you might notice that classes of yoga take place and meditation follows. The reason for that is to get the wiggles out. If you do the physical postures of yoga, you're tiring the body and getting it ready for rest to focus on the mind. You don't have to do yoga before you meditate, but you can. The reason behind that is to tire the physical body so that you're centered, grounded, and still while you meditate. I'm going to show you a few stretches you can do before or after meditating. Here is stretch number 1. I invite you to try these stretches along with me, or you can simply observe and try them at a later time. Stretch number 1 is a side body stretch. You're going to sit cross-legged, just like the picture shows, and place your right hand or forearm on the ground. Inhale, and then extend your left arm overhead, stretching the side body here, feeling length in the ribs. While you're in the stretch, you want to pause and take 5 to 7 slow breaths, feeling length in the side. You will repeat that on the other side, lengthening the other side body. And it feels so good to create length there in the ribs. Again, holding the stretch in the position for 5 to 7 slow breaths on each side. Stretch number 2 is a seated spinal twist. Just like the picture, you're going to sit cross-legged and take your right hand behind you on the ground. Take your left hand on your right knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine, twisting, looking over that right shoulder. Holding that for 5 to 7 breaths. Feeling stretch in the upper mid-back. And then after those 5 to 7 slow breaths, you'll twist in the other direction, holding the stretch and taking 5 to 7 slow breaths, holding that position. Stretch number 2, seated spinal twists. Stretch number 3 is a seated forward fold. You're going to extend your legs out in front of you. Then inhale, extend your arms overhead, and then hinge from the hip forward. You'll place your hands on the floor, your shins, your feet, or wherever they land, hinging forward with a straight back, holding that position, that seated forward fold, and breathing for 5 to 7 slow breaths. If your hamstrings are tight, you can elevate the hips by putting a blanket or a block or a book under your hips. That might be a little bit more comfortable for you. And finally, stretch number 4 is a heart opener. You can kneel or sit cross-legged. You're going to interlace your hands behind your back, hug your shoulder blades together, lift your heart, and open the front of your shoulders. This is another opportunity to slingshot your heart through your shoulders. Hold this stretch and take 5 to 7 slow breaths, opening the heart. So maybe you've done those stretches, or maybe you want to wait and do them after you meditate. There's no right or wrong answer. Find what fits you best. Next, I'm going to take you on a walking meditation just to show you what it could look like.
Hello everyone, it's Jodi Gee. I want to introduce you to a walking meditation. What a walking meditation is just that, walking and meditating. So instead of walking with headphones in or with someone, you're walking alone in silence and meditating in your mind the same way you would if you were seated meditating. So walking and being mindful of your surroundings, being mindful of your breath, and setting this time aside specifically for you to become a little bit more centered and grounded and at peace. You can do a walking meditation anywhere. I prefer to do mine in the woods. The concept is the same wherever you are. Meditate as you walk. It could be 5 minutes to start, and then maybe you add time and make it a little bit longer. And the next time you do a walking meditation, it's 10 minutes. Or maybe you really enjoy it, and this is how you want to meditate. find what you enjoy and continue to do it. Whether that's a walking meditation, a seated meditation, exercise. If you enjoy it, you're more likely to stick with it. So go try out a walking meditation. You just might fall in love with it. And oftentimes people say, it's so hard for me to be still and meditate. Well, this might be a really great option. Enjoy the peace and the solitude and the nature all around you in your walking meditation.
Okay, so that was an example of a walking meditation. Like I said on the video, enjoy going out into the woods. It just brings so much peace and calm. And I can just walk and soak everything in around me, be mindful as I meditate. Next, I am going to take you through a mindful meditation. I'm going to invite you to join me now as we go through a 10-minute mindful meditation. You don't need anything fancy, just yourself trying something new. Maybe this is you trying meditating for the first time. Don't be hard on yourself. Just give it a try. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's a practice. We know it benefits us. So if we can knock down the roadblock of kind of being fearful of what it is, maybe I'm going to do it wrong, and just have an open mind, I think we'll be in a really great space to try this mindful meditation. So here we go.
Hello, my name is Jodi Gee, and I am here to guide you through a mindful meditation. I'm going to ask that you find a comfortable seat, whether that's on a bench or a chair or the floor. All places are perfect to meditate. If you are in a chair, I'm going to ask that you bring the back off of the back of the chair. So you sit forward so that you give yourself an opportunity to have spinal awareness, posture awareness, so we can be present here in this moment, sitting tall, allowing our shoulders to just melt down away from our ears. And we can push the crown of our head up towards the ceiling. And if you're comfortable, we're going to meditate with our eyes closed. If you're not comfortable meditating with your eyes closed, that's okay. You can keep your eyes open and watch. And maybe the next time you go to meditate, you'll feel comfortable closing your eyes. So go ahead and gently blink the eyes closed. And again, sit up nice and tall, allowing yourself to be mindful of your posture. Dropping the shoulders low away from the ears. Pressing the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Let's take a breath together and just arrive in this moment. Inhale, fill your lungs with air. Exhale all that air. And as you're exhaling, allow the shoulders to drop away from your ears. In this moment, notice what you hear. Take the time to come into this present moment by tapping into your senses. What do you hear right now? And next I want you to notice what you might feel. Is there a wind blowing? What do you notice that's touching your skin? And what parts of your body do you notice that are touching the earth or the place that you're seated meditating on? Notice those points now. notice, do you smell anything in this moment? Becoming aware and mindful of this present moment. And as we meditate together, we need to let go of where we've come from, and we also need to let go of where we're going. 10 minutes ago doesn't matter, and 10 minutes from now doesn't matter. This moment right now is where we bring our mind, becoming present in real time. Breathe. Inhale, fill the lungs with air. And exhale, empty all that air. As we continue to move through this meditation, I'm going to encourage you to allow your breath to be your anchor. Focus your mind on your breathing pattern, on your breath, because that is real in real time and in this moment. And anytime your mind may wander, bring it back to the anchor of your breath. Breathe. Inhale, fill the lungs with air. Exhale, empty everything. Continuing to sit up tall and to be mindful of our surroundings and in the moment. Take a moment to notice your thoughts. As we meditate, we don't block our thoughts or ignore them. We just notice them. And if we notice that our mind is beginning to engage with a thought, we just send it out with our next out breath and return our focus to the breath. Staying grounded in this present moment. Being mindful of the here and the now. You might get to a place where mentally your mind is still like a pond and you're feeling calm, stillness within. Notice that. You might not get to a place where your mind is calm like a pond. And that's okay too. Notice that. As we are in this moment meditating, notice any emotions that you might be feeling or that might be coming up. As you notice those emotions, notice what they are, and then breathe. Inhale, fill the lungs with air. And as you exhale all that air, send that thought out. Come back to the breath. Inhale, fill the lungs all the way full with air. Now pause and empty all that air out from your lungs. And just notice silence. Maybe you haven't heard that sound in a long time. And this is a great reminder to you that it is available to you if you seek it. Breathe. Continue allowing your breath to be your anchor and soaking in silence. take 2 more breaths together. Inhale, fill the lungs full with air. And exhale all that air. Inhale, fill the lungs with air all the way full. Pause at the top of the in-breath. And exhale all that air as your shoulders melt away from your ears. Go ahead and gently blink the eyes open to become aware again of your surroundings. And just take a moment to pause and notice how you feel. That was a short meditation. You can always add time onto your meditation. Maybe within just those few moments, you were able to center a little bit better or become grounded, or maybe you've lost the feeling of frantic and you are feeling still like a pond. Whatever you're feeling, just observe it. Awesome job. Know that you can meditate anytime, anywhere. It's a really good tool to help with mental health, perhaps anxiety, feelings of being unsure, or just feeling rushed. It's a really good way to slow down, breathe, and become present and aware of where you really are. Awesome job. I hope every single one of you has an amazing rest of your day.
Okay, that was a 10-minute mindful meditation. I hope you all are feeling a little bit more grounded, present, maybe calm or relaxed. Thank you all for being open to trying something new, and thank you all for your time. Here are a few next steps for you. 1, you could plan your meditation into your day, like scheduling an appointment with yourself, making it really valuable and being intentional about placing it in your schedule each week. Step 2, start small and grow your practice by adding time. That was 10 minutes. Maybe the next time you meditate for 11 minutes. Find what works for you, and don't be too hard on yourself. 3rd, prepare for roadblocks. They're going to come, but just don't let them stop you. Never give up is the goal. And finally, begin again. If you get off track, always begin again. It's so simple. You can do it. I would love to answer any questions that you have. My email address is jgee@grcc.edu. I would love to hear from you. Again, thank you so much for trying something new. Thank you for your time. I hope each one of you have a wonderful rest of your day.